What is good, Battlefielders? This is Kuzu Ranger coming at you from Japan. Today I'm going to do a quick review of the heavy tank. While at first glance these tanks seem like unimportant fat sloths, they can play a vital role in taking objectives or clearing enemy strongholds if used correctly. The best chance to grab one of these is at the beginning of a match, so make sure to select this vehicle icon spawn point next to your base or flag. From there you have the ability to choose one of the 4 types, which in this case is the heavy tank option. There are 5 main areas I want to cover, so let's get to it. Tip 1. If you're playing solo, which is almost always the case, you'll want to stay out in the open. I know this sounds like bad advice, but trust me, it's the correct advice. Most times you'll get a few people to spawn on you, but they hardly ever stay more than a few seconds unless they think they're going to get kills. People have no patience, so they'll jump out, guaranteed. This means you have no one to spot for you, no one to repair for you, and no one to distract, intimidate, or kill those enemies in your blind spots. Essentially, when playing solo, staying out in the open is your key to survival. If you stick to an open field, you can see everything coming at you. There are much less surprises. The more rocks, hills, buildings, trees, or any natural environment there is to hide behind, the more likely some enemies will come out to ambush you. Don't make it easy for them. The bigger the map, the more room you have to maneuver, the safer you can stay from sustained enemy fire, and the more likely you'll have at racking up some kill streaks. It sounds stupid, but you really need to stay out in the wide open fields so you can see all of your threats. This is the opposite of how I play infantry, so I understand it does seem counterintuitive. Tip 2. This bit of advice goes hand in hand with the first. While it's important to stay out in the open to see all of your threats, it's just as important to keep your distance. Tanks are frighteningly powerful, but if you get too close to an enemy stronghold, you'll quickly get burned. The main cannon on all 3 tanks has incredible range, so use it to your advantage. It may seem cheap, but I like using the cannon as a sort of sniping vehicle with great splash damage. Shoot out the buildings or walls or capture points, take out the bridge or bunkers near fortified positions, use that heavy duty cannon to turn the battlefield into rubble. You can get a lot of splash damage kills even if shots are not direct hits, or you can crush a building and have the rocks and debris kill players. Many times I get this done. The cannon is also extremely accurate. The worst thing you can do is get surrounded by a few assault players with AT rockets, grenades, and other explosives, as well as another vehicle. This is again why you want to stay out in the open, far enough from threats so you can back up and repair if necessary. Tip 3, which brings us to my next point. Back up and repair if you're taking fire. Don't try to be a hero and just slug it out blow for blow each and every time. You will die in a ball of flames. It's okay to hit that quick repair button and keep in the fight, but if you've already used it and your cooldown is not near being ready, back up and find some cover. Always run towards your teammates or base if possible. I nearly always go full speed in reverse while still looking straight ahead so I can A, see who I'm running from and think about how to get away from them, and B, so I can fire back. If you're not firing at another heavy tank, he's gonna know you're weak and keep pounding you until you're dead. Fire back, make those shots count, and try running towards teammates who give support. At the worst, find a building or natural cover to sit behind and then repair yourself. It sounds obvious, but I've seen quite a few tankers just keep steaming on ahead even after taking damage. It's just suicide, and it's just stupid because you're not helping anyone. Most likely you're going to kill extra passengers who just spawned in it. Play smart, play safe, stay back, repair, kill, repeat. Tip 4. Next, you need to prioritize your targets. This is incredibly important to not only get more kills, but for staying alive longer. If there are 3 snipers laying down on a hill, or 3 assault players running straight at you, who are you going to take out first? This gets a bit tricky when you have to choose between another heavy or light tank, plus a couple assault players in your area. The general strategy is to take out whoever is closest and or poses the most threat. If the assault guys haven't already shot a bunch of AT rockets at you, they're probably trying to throw grenades or plant dynamite. This is good because they won't be a threat unless they're very close, so you can leave them be and focus on the heavy armor. However, it's also important to remember that heavy tanks will take around 4 or more shots to destroy. So if you spend all your firepower on that other tank, you may be opening up yourself to a world of trouble from infantry with revenge on their minds. Also consider if a friendly tank is nearby. Most players will automatically focus only on the enemy tank, so it's probably best to let your teammate do that. Tip 5. One of the biggest keys to survival and one of the biggest reasons I get so many kills in heavy tanks is that I know how to handle them. They are surprisingly easy to maneuver once you get the hang of it. It's not something you can just explain and master, so you need to just keep practicing. Luckily, the controls are pretty simple, even if a bit rigid, so you need to move fairly close to the angle you want to shoot. There is some room to swivel your turret, but if you want to track someone from your side, you're gonna need to move your nose in that direction. As I said before, I'm often going in reverse and tracking enemies backwards, so make sure I can still see everything in front of me and keep defending myself at all times. Once your back is turned, you'll be an easy target and have no idea how many people are chasing you. This is again why you want to see the playing field, to get a sense of where your threats are coming from and back away when you sense trouble. Learning to handle your tank is going to save you over and over. Also, try to flank other tanks so they don't see you coming. If you get 2 shots on target before they even see you, it should be easy to finish them off. Keep pounding them with the cannon, but don't follow too close if it's going to put you in a vulnerable situation with no room to get away. Tip 6. This is a combined one and one that's also incredibly important. It should probably not go last, but oh well. The first part of it is to stay in third-person view. You need to be able to see more of who's coming from your sides, right next to your tank. You can see your blind spots better. You can see around you and over. You can see over rocks. The only disadvantage is that sometimes you have less accurate fire because you'll shoot into a wall or a rock or something, but the advantages far outweigh it. And the last part is to constantly spam the spot button. Now this is crucial because there's so many dark areas. There'll be people hiding behind smoke next to buildings or even far away. If you spam the spot button, you can still spot these guys. It helps yourself to mark people, to track people, and it helps your team. It helps you get more points. It helps in every single way. So spam that spot button away. So to sum it all up, here are the 6 tips to playing more efficiently, staying alive longer, and getting more kills in the heavy tank. Stay out in the open so you can see all of your threats. Stay at a safe distance so you don't get surrounded but can still use your accurate, powerful cannon. Repair, retreat, and find someplace safe if you're taking damage. Prioritize your targets based on who poses the biggest threat to you. Learn how to handle the tank properly for both defensive and offensive efficiency. And lastly, stay in third-person view so you can see your blind spots and constantly spam the spot button to mark enemies everywhere on the map. Alright, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more tips, guides, and battlefield commentary. Thanks for watching. This has been Kuzu Ranger. Peace.